Hey everybody, just want to give an update on the Voxel work I've been doing. I've added texturing and a couple other features. Started adding in a skybox. I don't like the way it looks. It's not that great, but just wanted to see how what it's like to add that in. So I think I just got to find a better texture set or something for that. But it's good enough for now. It gives the feel for it. But you can see the textures here. I have different textures on the sides of these boxes, and different textures on the top depending on what they are. So I've experimented a lot with how the geometry is set up for this stuff, and I'm still experimenting with that because the way I have these textures working, I had to kind of break the geometry up into different pieces, and I have a lot more geometry sets now than I did before, due to the texturing and shaders and having a texture active at a certain time for different things. And what you're actually looking at right now is a half size of what I've been testing with so far. This is a 256 by 256 by 256 terrain, and this one gives me a very good frame rate, about 60 frames. So I think we're going to work with this for now until I can get the 512 one back up to speed. I've also changed some of the geometry. I've tried to optimize it a little bit. So before, there would be a triangle, like right here where you're looking here, there would be 2, 4, 6, 8 triangles, just like there is on the top right here. So I've started to try to figure out ways to try to use as few triangles as possible to render this stuff. Haven't gotten it quite all the way there yet, because you can see, like right here, I don't have that optimized. And I am using repeating texture, so you can see, like right here, these are all the same texture, but it's only 2 triangles. Okay, hopefully that's coming out good in the video. Another thing I've been working on is being able to modify the world. So if you look at this little box right here, oh, and I have some kind of a HUD going on now. You can tell I have a indicator in the upper left corner, some frame information, timings, and frame rate, and I have a little reticle in the center just to help guide where the sensor is. I also got full screen and window mode working, so I'm happy about that. So if you look at this little box right here, I'm going to put a few dirt voxels right on top of that guy. Here we go. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad that works. And you can see the geometry for that. Right now I don't have it working with the reticle, but since I'm able to modify the world in real time, I don't see why that. I just have to do some ray intersection tests to find out where the user is clicking. So that's really good. So pretty good progress, I do want to try to get back to the 512 by 512 size, but I think I'm going to have to do a lot more work to figure that out. Somehow the texturing and the geometry configuration I'm in right now slowed it down a little bit, but this size works pretty good. I've also removed a lot of geometry below the ground, so let's go below the ground for a minute. There's actually a lot of geometry down here before, and I've found ways to remove that now, so it's fairly minimal below as well. Still using occlusion culling, and it does still help, so I'm keeping that active. The good thing is, even though I've removed all the terrain below the ground, the sides still appear solid, and the bottom still appears solid. So that's good. The next step I'm going to work on is probably character movement, being able to jump and run along the ground, and interactive mouse clicking, adding and removing blocks. But I'm pretty happy with this texturing. I have a little atlas kind of config file that you can configure different types of voxels using a texture atlas. So right now I just have 2, but there's a lot more in that little example atlas I found. So I can do like a snow scene. I'm also going to start working on doing trees. So yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do add remove with the mouse clicks, and being able to walk on the ground. So hopefully I'll be able to do that next. then I think once that much works, I'm going to kind of like take a step back and see what I can do to simplify my engine, make it better, maybe go back to the 512 and optimize it some more. Then I'd like to do some trees, like randomly place some trees, randomly create some trees, and add some water in, like in this kind of biome, and then kind of start getting into maybe like a snow biome, like see how I can generate that, and also see how I can fully generate a biome with you know, a given texture set. So probably, like, you know, you need to be able to know what types of blocks are meant to go on the surface and what types are subsurface. Like these grass blocks, these are surface, but these dirt blocks down here, these are subsurface. So I'm gonna have to probably indicate that in my atlas. And then also adjacency kind of matters. Some blocks don't look good next to each other. So if you kind of do like a blended edge somewhere, like to end, you know, like a mountain, like a little snow pocket, and then grass starts, and you want to blend it through, you kind of need a transition block for that. So I'll have to indicate that, you know, that some are not meant to be adjacent, so that it can be fully procedurally generated. And then actually, I know it's capable of it, but I would also like to be able to put some tunnels in this thing, so I can actually see the tunnels working. I know it can do it. I just want to make, you know, just test it and make sure that it works. So I'll probably figure out a way to do that. Well, I guess once I get the adding and removing working, I'll be able to kind of at least manually test that out. So yeah, so you know, ultimately too, I'd like to be able to do some shadows, add in some shadowing, and then have a sun in the sky that I can do a, you know, sort of a day-night cycle. So I'll probably work on that as well. But pretty good progress. I'm pretty happy with it. Hopefully I'll have some more various textures to use in the future, some grass, trees, water, you know, stuff like that. So I'm still working on renaming my Google Plus account. It's the name that's currently there. Google doesn't like it and actually prevents me from putting comments in there. But I do appreciate the comments that you guys leave and any feedback. And I am using Joggle for this. It's the Java OpenGL library. And I'm also using JInput now for my input mouse and keyboard stuff, which works pretty well. And I've been testing this, you know, once in a while on Linux and Windows, and this does work on Linux and Windows with, you know, no real changes on my part. So so yes, this is what I've working so far. Here's some more blocks going up there. It worked. It's pretty fast. I like it. So yeah, leave some comments and let me know what you guys are doing. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.